हेलो। थर्ड कौन आया है मतलब? मैं सोचा अभी मैं माइक ऑन ही करता हूँ, क्योंकि बहुत ज़्यादा टाइपिंग हो रहा है। क्या बोल रहा है सचिन? थर्ड कौन आया है? कौन थर्ड कौन आया है? कौन थर्ड कौन आया है? बाय द वे मैंने माइक भी नया लिया, ऑडियो टेक्निका 802020। व्यू काउंट 3 था। हाँ यार, थोड़े बहुत सब्सक्राइबर्स हैं ना, 257 सब्सक्राइबर्स है मेरे। तो कभी कभार कोई बाय मिस्टेक आ जाता होगा। गलती से। आके भाग गए। Yeah, so mainly right now what I'm trying to do is just gathering all of my work so that I can upload it on the website. आज का मेन एजेंडा वही है. इनफैक्ट by Sunday I want to wrap this up, like uploading all of my stuff on the website. So yeah, थोड़ा काम है. Let's see. क्या कर रहा है by the way? म्यूजिक काफ़ी लो है. एक सेकेंड, थोड़ा म्यूजिक फिक्स कर देता हूँ. बैकग्राउंड में आवाज़ आ रहा है क्योंकि फैमिली है ना पीछे, इसके लिए. ये माइक पूरा बैकग्राउंड नॉइज, और तेरे भाई बात कर रहा था आई गेस. हाँ, वही बैकग्राउंड में फैमिली है तो वो लोग बात कर रहे तो आवाज़ आ रही. My personal data. Hello. Hi. I'm very young. I'm not old. Your voice is too low to hear clearly. Are you sure? I don't think so. Maybe. How about now? It's in the green. I don't think it should be a problem. Yeah, ideally, like it is touching the yellow a little bit, but mostly green. But it's not on the lower side, like it's at minus 20. It's anywhere between minus 25 to 20. Also, it's probably because of the position of my mic. But if I keep it too low, it might obstruct my face. So that's the reason I have to keep it something like this. Maybe because of that. The input is at 0 in OBS, so I cannot really increase the mic volume any further, I think, unless there's some setting in this mic. I'll try to speak a little louder maybe, and then it should work hopefully. Because I can't really do much other than that. Maybe what I'll do is check it out, check the stream offline once and see if that works. Thanks for letting me know. Are you making asset for a game or animated movie? Yeah, so right now actually I'm not making any assets as such for for a game. These assets that you see are uh, assets that I have created in the past for games. So what I'm doing is creating renders for my website, for my studio website, so that I can upload them. So basically, to give you context, I run a small art outsourcing studio for games. It's called Giant Spell. And right now, what I'm doing is uploading my work to update my studio website basically. So, this is my work that I have on the website right now. I still have to create, ready up more stuff. So, I am creating new renders of my past work so that I can upload it on my studio website basically, to give you an idea. So, that's what I'm doing right now. But yeah, usually I do like the purpose of going live and streaming now for me would be to share my process. So you sell assets? No, I don't. I don't sell assets as such. I had some assets on CG Trader, if you know what CG Trader is. So that's a marketplace. I had some assets over there, but CG Trader is not good anymore. It's very complicated to get your payment from CG Trader. They changed all their terms and all that stuff. So I stopped selling my some of the assets that I had on CG Trader. But other than that, I do outsourcing work for studios, for game studios. So this is the game that I'm working on at the moment. It's called Ramen. It's available on Epic Game Store. And these assets are for that game basically. So I do outsource work for game studios. I don't sell assets as such. So what's the business model? It depends on the project, bro. It all depends on the projects. And I think over here, my main aim is to share the process of how I make the assets and not how I do the business side of things. To be honest with you. But to give you a brief outlook, it all depends on how the project is. There's a lot of stuff that you have to, go through before you create a plan for business for, because each project has its own challenges, right? So it all depends on the projects. But yeah, you create the assets, you charge money, and you move on. That's pretty much it. How did you get into this business and where did you learn making these 3D models? So I studied 3D, and how I got into this business is I started working in 2013 or 14, I think. In 13, initially I started with kids animation. I used to make character models for kids animation. And yeah, that's pretty much it, dude. uh, made models for animation commercials, and yeah, that's that. Hmm. It's and about learning, it's a lot of learning from YouTube. You keep practicing, you keep creating art, you keep creating models, and with each project you learn something and you implement it into your work as well. You keep upgrading yourself, keep updating yourself. What are you into, if I may ask? Are you into 3D? If someone like you wants to get into this business without knowing anything, how long will it take to turn it into a living career? Uh, First thing, what are you into? Give me some info. Like, are you studying right now, or what exactly are you doing? How old are you? Are you still studying? It looks like you're still studying. Right now, I'm unemployed, graduated, who do not want to go to formal offices for a job, rather want to sit home and work anything that can pay the bills. Oh man. I mean, this is a really complicated situation in my opinion, because you said you want to pay the bills. Now that's a really big I mean, that's a really big, what's the word, commitment or undertaking. I mean, responsibility, yeah. You have to pay the bills. You don't want to leave your place, and you don't want to go to formal offices now. I think if you want to pay the bills, you need to have some sort of, income. Now, what you said was, if someone like you wants to get into this business without knowing anything, if you don't know anything, you cannot do this business, right? And if you don't know how to do it, how would you get paid, and that means you won't be able to pay your bills. So summarizing these last three messages from you, I think what you should do is continue with the job that you were. In this regards, I think you already have some kind of knowledge. You have done some kind of a job in the past, so I would say continue with that for now, so that your bills can be taken care of. And on the side, if you really like 3D, maybe you should start learning, take a course, watch some YouTube videos, and learn how to model and stuff like that, because it's a very long term thing. It's not like you watch 2 or 3 YouTube videos, get the skill, and the next day you will be able to sell your services and make money. So right now it would be risky if you start learning 3D and don't have an income. If you don't have an income, you won't be able to pay the bills. So what I would suggest is uh, keep uh, keep doing, like, continue the job that you have or had. Like, there's no other option. Like, you cannot just sit at home and pay the bills without doing anything, in without going to the office or anything. So probably, I know it might be hard for you, but continue the job at the formal offices for a little while, pay the bills, so that you and your family are secure that way. And on the side, whenever you have time, start learning 3D if that's what you want to do and you're interested in it. That's the best approach according to me right now. Since I live in a village, and if I have to join regular job based on my degree, I have to go at least 200 kilometers away. Well, maybe you have to relocate then, or maybe find some kind of thing that you can, some kind of a service that you can provide in the village and make some kind of money. Because sometimes you have to, take some steps that are necessary. And average, it's in India specifically, it really depends. If you in games, if for starters, usually mostly people pay on your first job, usually people pay anywhere from 20 to 30,000 per month on your first job. And if you are really good, and your portfolio is really good starting out, like when it's your first job and you still have a really decent portfolio, like work portfolio, and you have the skills, probably good companies might even go higher, like 35, something like that. But usually on an average, 25 to 30K is what they pay for to freshers. Now if you join a small studio, sometimes their budgets are low, so then they can even go lower. So sometimes it might be 20K. It all depends on the kind of studio that you join. And two things, the kind of studio and the kind of skills that you have. It really depends. What kind of hardware do I require to make 3D models? You need a decent PC at least. A good PC with, decent CPU. Uh, you need a decent to a good level PC to create high quality 3D models. Because low end PCs would just, uh, they won't work for all the high detail stuff that you will do in 3D. So you need a decent PC at least if you have budget constraints. What software are you using right now? This is called Marmoset Toolbag. You have i7 11 Gen 5060 16 GB 32 gigs of DDR4 2 TB NVMe. It is good enough, yeah. You can do decent work with that for sure. I mean, I would probably would have recommended a 5070 at least, but uh, that's totally fine. Like 5060 is still decent enough to do, start to start as a 3D artist. No problem at all. You won't face any problems. You have a decent PC. I think you can start learning 3D on the side and, move ahead from there. I recently bought it because I wanted to do something from your home basically, rather than going out. I'm not sure like why do you don't want to leave your house? Uh, Maybe move out, dude. You get to learn a lot, even if it's like moving to a different city. I think you should do it. You get to learn a lot of stuff. If it's possible, you should definitely do it. But yeah, that's just my suggestion. Because as you said, you live in a village. You wanna pay the bills, but you don't wanna leave the house. But you don't have the necessary skills that you can, you know, pursue a career in 3D. 5070 is cost hungry and RAM prices are 4 times right now. Yeah, I mean, as I said, you have a decent PC. There's no problem at all that you're going to face right now because you're still learning. You still want to learn 3D, so that should be more than enough for you to create your 3D projects right now. What about AI taking 3D jobs? I don't think AI is going to take any 3D jobs. I don't think that's going to happen. For example, let's say even for in the game development pipeline, there's always a lot of human intervention that's needed, like at every step of the pipeline, be it modeling or texturing, retopo, or whatever. The whole process is full of human intervention, and you just cannot like avoid human intervention. AI cannot do everything. So I don't see AI taking 3D artist jobs anytime soon. Not at all. What software should I pick as first software? Um, I think, see, I'll tell you one thing. In the industry, the majority of the game industry uses Maya. For for starters, it's Autodesk Maya for modeling and stuff, and ZBrush. But right now, in my opinion, you are pretty new to 3D. So just to get a hang of it, just explore, just for exploring purposes, I think you should just download Blender, look for some tutorials, and probably move ahead from there. Take some course if you can. Uh, there are a ton of free courses on YouTube as well, and probably try exploring if see if you are enjoying the process and stuff like that. And yeah, and then you can maybe Blender, yeah. Not a lot of industry uses Blender. There are indie studios, like small studios, who use Blender because it's open source and free, and it saves them cost. But usually big studios, like mid-size to large-size studios, they don't usually use Blender. Even if, let's say, they are hiring art. Thank you so much for talking. No problem, man. No worries. Even if, let's say, they are working with freelancers, and the freelancer uses Blender in their process for delivering assets, what usually the studios ask them is, uh, deliver the files in a different format that will work in their studio pipeline and not the Blender files. So that's what the artists have to do if, let's say, they don't know how to use Maya. uh, that's what they usually do. They do all the stuff in Blender, but then ultimately when they have to deliver the files to the studios, they export it in either FBX or the supported formats, or the formats that the studios ask for. That's how some people do it as well, but most of the studios, like maybe I would say majority, they expect you to know their modeling package, for example Maya. because their whole pipeline is set according to that. So you have to, you know the softwares that they use in their pipeline. There's a 3D model in your website, a Fall Guys model. Did you make it? Yeah. Everything on my website that you see is all made by me. I have made that model, yeah. How did you approach them for your work, or they approach you? Yeah, so the Fall Guys model is not actually, professional work. That was just something I did on my own. I just wanted to create a Fall Guys model. So I created that model. And talking about approaching, usually it happens both ways. Talking about work, like apart from not talking about the Fall Guys thing, usually you have your on. So now I've been in this domain since what, like 12, 13 odd years. Uh, so what happens is you have a lot of connects. So, people start knowing you, and sometimes work just, they just approach you, seeing your work. Some people like your work, so sometimes a project comes up that that the project is some or more or less it has the style, the kind of art style that you do. So that's when they approach you that, hey, your art style almost matches the kind of art style that we want to have on our project, and we would like to talk work and see a possible discuss possibilities of collaborating on this project. And sometimes what happens is, if you specifically like some kind of a project, and you just want to work on that project, you just email the team and just tell them that, hey, I have a portfolio and I would love to work on the project that you guys are working on, and see how it goes. That's pretty much it. In layman's terms, that's how it works usually. But it must be in the game, right? You mean the design that I made, it's not in the game. Hold on, I have. Okay, nothing to worry about. The model that I made does not exist in the game. It was just a concept that I made, and yeah, I created the concept, made the 3D model and everything, created a game ready asset, and just it was just for fun basically. So everything, the graphics that you see, everything, I made everything in that. So there's a lot of stuff that's missing on the website right now. So yeah, I have to still upload a lot of work that I have done for for myself, for clients, and all that stuff. So in the coming days, you will see a lot more work that gets uploaded on my website, basically. I'm still working on this website. Like there's a lot of updates that I need to do on this website. So this is the this about section is still the old version. I have to still update it to the newer version. It's still not the newer version. Like this page is going to change a lot, and going to be more work over here as well. And yeah, there's some stuff I have to. But your website is super clean and cool. I appreciate it. Thank you. Glad you like it. You must have bought the domain and have to pay monthly. The domain is you can. I think I don't know if there's a monthly option for the domains. I don't remember, but I usually buy it for like 2 3 years at a stretch. I don't know like if it's but for one like monthly basis. I think there might be. I am not sure, but I have bought it for the yearly plans. I have got the yearly plans for the domains. Not monthly, it's for 6 months or year or years. Yeah, exactly. So I have it for the yearly thing basically.